Sometimes we tend to use some catchphrases that sound easy, but they aren't always that easy to implement. You need some help along the way. So one of those catchphrases that I use sometimes, perhaps you do too, is that I just need to find peace about something. As I said, often easier said than done. So our next guest is named Troy L. Love. He's actually written a book called Finding Peace, and as I understand it, you kind of used your own life's journey to find that peace, and you are a therapist, to kind of put some words on paper and help people as they look to find that very same thing. So nice to see you this morning.
Thank you. Good morning. It's nice to see you too.
Did I hear you correctly that in your own journey as a therapist, but as just a human being, you kind of use these same techniques to improve your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When
So-
I was
Yeah, go
when I
ahead.
was going to when I was getting my bachelor's in social work, my professor told me that if I wanted to be a really good social worker, I needed to go to therapy for myself. And at the time, I thought, I don't need any of that. I think you're crazy. I'm fine. And then I started to realize she was right, and I started to look for tools and strategies to help me heal from some of the stuff that I've dealt with in my life. And I decided to share that with others, and I need to practice what I preach. So I try to do that.
So with the book, is it a guide? Is it meant to be like an instructional guide for people?
It's actually an interesting kind of format because it's a fictional story about 8 people who come to a group and they learn about the concepts that I teach my clients. And then at the end of each chapter, you as the reader are invited to do the homework that the group members are doing. And so a lot of readers have said that they feel like they're part of the group. So it's kind of a self-help workbook and a narrative story at the same time.
So I guess all of us are different. Some people tend to find healing and benefit in conversation. Some people tend to be more of a solo path person. So are the chapters in your book beneficial no matter what type of outlet you need?
I've worked with all kinds of people and people who are introverted and extroverted, and it seems to resonate with both sets of people.
Do you find, I will tell you, I tend to be a person, certainly life gives me ups and downs. It gives everybody ups and downs. I think that my mind is always going so fast. I tend to always have something I'm trying to do, that maybe I'm not always paused long enough to do a lot of introspection. Do a lot of us find that problem that we don't realize how much we need to find the peace because we're too busy?
Well, I think that's one of the ways that we numb the pain that we have. We don't want to pay attention to the underlying pain of loneliness or loss or rejection or those kind of wounds. We don't want to pay attention to that. So we get busy, we find other things to do, and it's a nice way of kind of deflecting what's going on. And then when we slow down and we realize, oh, there's some stuff that I need to take care of, that can be daunting.
It's probably a really good time for us to be having this conversation because the holidays are not far around the corner, and that can often be a triggering time for an awful lot of people. So reading the book now, might it help you to have an easier time?
I think it would give you a guide and a platform, and maybe give you vocabulary to be able to describe what's going on for you so that you're in a better place of asking others to help you get your needs met in a way that actually works for you.
Can it be a shared book if if the reader is the person with the therapy needs, if you will, but then could his or her family also read to support?
Absolutely. In fact, my friend who wrote the preface encouraged people to get together and do like a book club and share it together. And I know many book clubs across the country that have done that, and they found a really healing experience as they share with each other. So I would highly encourage that.
So I might have missed something that you said earlier, but I think that this is how I'm connecting the dots. That you were in college, you pursued social work, which meant you were putting all of your focus on other people's pain, if you will, their needs. So when you begin to go through your own journey, did validating your experiences help you?
It gave me, I was able to figure out how to describe what was going on with me. As as humans, we're wired for connection biologically, socially, spiritually, energetically. And then when things happen that break those connections in one way or another, that can create what I call attachment wounds. And oftentimes these were created when we were kids and we didn't even know that they were there. But it's like a sunburn. And if somebody bumps up against your sunburn, there's an immediate reaction and you get angry or you pull away. And I was noticing that I was doing that in a lot of the relationships that I had with family, friends, others. And I was like, this is not who I want to be. There's something going on. And so I started to realize, well, I have some of those wounds and they're really big and they hurt a lot. And so I need to start doing wound care on those attachment wounds, just like we would do wound care for a burn or a cut. And as I started to understand that, I could talk to people about it without shame and start to tell them, and then we could have connection, which heals attachment wounds. So as I started to learn how to do that, I wanted to share that with other people too.
Well, it's a lovely way you found to share with others and to enrich their lives. So the book is called Finding Peace. How do we get it?
It's available on Amazon. I believe it's also available in other bookstores, Barnes and Noble, and other places like that.
Well, we thank you for your time and again for
Thank
sharing.
you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
You do the very same.
Thanks.